Hold on to your hats. It's going to be a wild ride into the second round of the Irish Tarmac Rally Championship, the Clonakilty Park Hotel West Cork Rally. The town of Clonakilty plays host, and preparations have been underway for weeks ahead of the highly anticipated high-speed event. Galway may well have whetted your appetite with an incredible opening round. Back for another slice of the action are championship leaders Craig Breen and Paul Nagle.
Slight left, 130.
Alistair Fisher is ready to show us more of the form he delivered at the opening round. And we welcome back five-time winner of the event, Donna Kelly, this time in new machinery as he debuts his Skoda R5. Bringing a world-class feel to the modified is former WRC star Mikko Hirvonen, who will be putting his Mark II Escort through its paces. Galway winner Damien Tourish will also be on the hunt for glory. In the heart of Clonakilty, we find the ceremonial start, which is the first opportunity to grab a glimpse of the drivers and the machinery that will be tearing through the countryside this weekend. Naturally, there is huge interest in Flying Finn Mikko Hirvonen, who makes his debut at the West Cork Rally. We caught up with him just after recce, so how is our international rally star finding his experience so far?
Tricky but fantastic stages. It's going to be really challenging over the weekend, so it's good and it's so relaxed. Like it's always the Irish rally fans and people, they are really been welcoming, so it's been really nice to be here.
It is great to see Donna Kelly back in action this weekend. With 5 wins under his belt here, he's considered a West Cork rally hero.
You've got a special bond with the rally, but it's new machinery this time around. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, look, I'm a bit nervous, a bit apprehensive. Haven't done a competitive mile yet in the car. Had a big accident testing, which wasn't great for confidence. So, yeah, it'll be a bit of a baptism tomorrow morning, but looking forward to it.
Another former winner here is Robert Barrable, back in action with the championship for the first time this year.
I don't think anyone's going to get an easy run at this rally. As you say, the entry is phenomenal, the stages are phenomenal, so I think it's going to be a matter of just tightening the belts and just see how we get on.
Now we turn to a man who has no experience here at West Cork, our championship leader Craig Breen. However, co-driver Paul Nagle does have 2 wins under his belt already at this event.
You come off the back of a win in Galway. How confident are you of success here?
Yeah, of course, confident after getting Galway out of the way. I was a little bit unsure before that one. It's a fantastic rally in front of us this weekend, some amazing stages. I've never done the rally like you said, and I'm ready to get a new experience this weekend.
The weather is going to be a big problem in the morning with all this hurricane and rain and storm coming in, but sure, that's all part of the Irish game.
Hurricane? Make it sound dramatic, why don't you? I haven't heard of a hurricane coming.
Well, it's called an orange alert or a yellow alert, but it mightn't be. Sun might be shining tomorrow.
Good luck, guys.
Saturday morning and we are ready for action. And without wanting to boost his ego too much, it seems that Paul Nagle may well have been right about the weather.
I told you there's a hurricane. You didn't believe.
9 stages make up the opening day, 15 in total across the weekend. With just over 200 competitive kilometres of stage action, West Cork promises to be a true test for our crews, in every sense of the word. Conditions on the opening stage would be interesting, as I found out myself.
Welcome to the famous ring stage. It's a little bit wild out here today, but the weather conditions are not going to dampen anybody's spirits. The famous Kitty Mac's pub in the background, cars will be coming in this direction, and who knows who's going to be leading after the end of the opening stage this morning.
The spectators here, though, are not fair weather rally fans. They will line the stages whatever the weather has to throw at them. Welly boots were a firm favourite on Saturday morning, and although the rain was lashing down, rally fever was just as fervent.
3, 2, 1, go 100 right, flat 1 right, 100.
Craig Breen and Paul Nagle were first to head into ring, the first to experience how slippy the stage would be when faced with standing water. Despite being on a full wet, getting the tyre to work effectively was an issue. They were 5th quickest through stage 1, then took the lead after stage 2. Listen carefully to the onboard here as they survive a little moment.
50 long flat one for 70, nips shiny. 60, easy. 60 left on flat crest. An early one right over crest, 40 late 2 left plus nips through the dip. Slowing 60 right over crest, ties early slow 3 minus slippy. 50 late 4 left plus short. 50. Slight left 130. One left tightens over crest. Flat one right 130.
Leaders after the opening stage were Josh Moffat and Keith Moriarty. They showed full confidence on the first pass of ring, but dropped back behind Breen after the next stage, ending the loop 11.9 seconds adrift. After a mightily impressive run in Galway, Alistair Fisher and Gordon Noble were back for another bite of the cherry. The first 2 stages were tough and Fisher wasn't happy with the way the rear of the car was handling. After a fix at service, Fisher was back to his best and moved from 9th to 3rd overall.
One right plus over 30, nip stay in, carry, tidy, easy. One right long, flat, 120. Change of surface, left, easy.
Alistair, a bit of a problem with the rear earlier. Is the rear in gear now?
Yeah, the rear definitely feels a lot better, so bit of a cleaner run there. So the ring's not normally my favourite stage, to be honest, but thankfully we had a good time in there and we're going the right direction.
Sam Moffat and James Fulton were lying 4th after 4 stages. A tough stage 2 for them saw them drop a position, which they regained after the first service break. Barrable and Connolly had started strongly in the tough, treacherous conditions that West Cork offered. Running as high as 2nd overall, they slipped back to 5th by the midpoint of the day. Back for a second crack at the whip in the R5 Fiesta were Declan and Brian Boyle. An issue on the opening stage saw them drop over 4 minutes. An electrical sensor the culprit. It was an eventful morning for Tom Cave and James Morgan. McCormack had stopped in stage to check on Declan Boyle, and Cave was now right behind him. He managed to pass okay, but on the next stage their brakes went soft and they dropped from 3rd to 8th. Playing major catch-up was now the name of the game. McCormack had dropped down the order after his dramas and was now hoisting his way back up the leaderboard into 10th.
2 right over crest, okay. Brake, slippy, yiddy, late 5 left, plus long, yiddy. Plus long on it. And flat crest, 40. Keep it on her. Lefties over crest, goes 1 left through the dip. And watch braking. Righties over crest, late 6 right, plus slippy. Watch this. 4 left, plus. On her, keep it on her, keep it on her. 4 left, plus now.
It seemed that the order of the morning was keeping your nose clean, which is what Callum Devine and Brian Hoy were trying to do. Up in 4th after 2 stages, but down to 7th at the midpoint, with a bit of caution creeping into their drive. The British Rally Championship formed part of the event this year, and 2018 champion Matt Edwards was keen to get his teeth stuck in. However, it was a tough morning for the Welshman, 8th overall after 4 stages. Back in 9th overall and suffering a few brake issues through the morning loop were David Bogey and John Rowan. Taking time to adjust to new machinery, Donna Kelly, now in the Skoda R5, found himself outside of the top 10. With tough conditions comes some action. Desi Henry getting caught out here, sliding wide into the bank in dramatic fashion. Let's take a look at the Modified Championship now. And leading from the off were Gary Kiernan and Darren O'Brien. Full commitment throughout the day saw them with an advantage of 36.9 seconds over the visiting Finns, Mikko Hirvonen and Jarno Ottman. Mikko taking a few stages to adapt to the powerful Mark II and get a handle on conditions.
Pinta, 7, Vasen nopea tiukka, heti lyhyt oikea eri. Risteys 3. Vasen nopea kirraa, pidä. Lyhyt oikea eri, sumppu 6. Oikea vasen, eri tiukka, mene aukea, jarru ja oikea nopea.
Mikko, first morning at the West Cork Rally, how's it gone?
It's been alright. It's it's been tricky, but I'm starting to enjoy it more and more all the time, and getting my head around of this car as well in these conditions. So I'm fairly happy how it is.
Into the afternoon tests, and believe it or not, the weather was starting to improve. Constant rain and wind had turned to showers. The issue now was inconsistent grip on the stages as parts started to dry out and sharp showers would hit. However, after all the rain that had fallen, it would take a while for it to completely dry. For frontrunners Breen and Nagel, the afternoon would see them extend their lead over Fisher to 26.8 seconds.
Care, watch left over jump, and 1 left minus in the mud into the tight 4 plus short nips. Just clip. Okay. Easy. 6 right, around the bail, and long 1 left to the finish. 50.
Josh Moffat had a difficult afternoon, where we saw him plummet down the leaderboard to 8th when a prop shaft broke off the start line of stage 6.
We dropped over a minute to the guys, so yeah, me and Keith are gutted, to be honest. We're having such a good day so far, so look at us rallying, so we'll just have to try and fight back a bit.
Fisher showed his skill throughout the afternoon, setting a fastest stage time on 6 and joint fastest on 9. He occupied 2nd overall at the end of the day. Leading the way for the BRC contenders was Matt Edwards, in 3rd overall but struggling to make gains on Fisher, and was in a fierce battle with Tom Cave. Cave had moved back into podium position and occupied 3rd, but a puncture on stage 7 dropped him back behind Edwards. Sam Moffat rounded out the day 5th overall, but 4th in terms of Irish Tarmac Championship scoring points. So here is how it stands at the end of the day here at the Clonakilty Park Hotel West Cork Rally. Breen leads from Fisher, with Edwards and Cave battling it out for 3rd overall. Moffat wraps up the top 5. Join us after the break for the conclusion of this year's thrilling event. The beautiful, wild Atlantic Way shown off to its best advantage. We've seen action and we've seen drama on the first day of competition. Away from the stunning coastline, the stages await our eager crews.
Good morning from the final day of the Clonakilty Park Hotel West Cork Rally. What a difference a day makes. Look at the weather. Beautiful sunny skies here at Inchydoney. It's going to be a perfect day. 6 stages remain.
After 9 stages, it's Craig Breen and Paul Nagel who lead the way here in West Cork. Alistair Fisher and Gordon Noble hold 2nd, while a battle rages on for 3rd, with Matt Edwards and Tom Cave fighting it out for the final place on the podium. As Parc Ferme opens for business, it's time to find out how our crews are feeling heading into the final day.
I think this morning will still be a little bit damp in some places because there was that much rain that fell yesterday, but hopefully this afternoon we'll finally get the full dry loop in this car and see what it's like.
Really, you'd have to be pushing quite hard, to really match Craig. So I think if we can maintain position, maybe something might happen up ahead, but we want to definitely hold on to our 2nd place.
Tom, not only are you competing here with the BRC this weekend, you are registered for Irish Tarmac Championship points, which is a good thing because you're doing really well right now.
We are, yeah, we're 4th overall and just behind Matt, which is my primary focus this morning, to get past him to ensure we get full points in BRC. But looking forward to the challenge. It's nice to see the sunshine to come out because yesterday morning was probably the worst conditions I've ever driven on tarmac before. So
In the modified, Gary Kiernan showed pure class on the stages to have a good advantage over Mikko Hirvonen. 36.9 seconds separated them, with Damien Toner in third, just ahead of Frank Kelly.
Does it feel good to be ahead of Mr. Hirvonen?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised myself, and I put the fact that all these were here out of my head, and we said we'd go and do our own thing, and we stuck to that, so it has worked so far.
Now, Mikko, you paid tribute to this man yesterday. You said he was a little bit crazy, a bit mental, you couldn't catch him, but you've had a great event here so far.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it, and I'm really happy where we are lying, and kind of a relief that I've been even getting close to those boys. I mean, they are really quick on these roads and can handle the machine and condition as well, so fair play, they're really quick.
On the second day of competition, which also happens to be St Patrick's Day, the stages are based around Timo League and the home of Henry Ford himself, Ballinsakati. I'm sure he'd be pleased to see the amount of Ford ovals taking part in the rally, and even more delighted to know that one was leading. With the prospect of some possibly dry stages, everyone was keen to see if the pace would increase. For Breen and Nagel, having a good rhythm and holding the lead was the target for the day.
40, keep out, left tightens to 2, 100, slight right 200, one right over the sand, slowing 70, late 3 left, half long. 50, slight left.
Fisher had already said that holding position was key. He was a good way ahead of the duelling Edwards and Cave, and he started the morning off on top form with a stage win on the opener. Calm as ever, Gordon Noble on the notes here.
Stay right for short 2 left plus in 80. Slowing square left, a very narrow exit, 30. Right, 60. Small crest, 60.
Matt Edwards was certainly feeling the pressure from Tom Cave. He lost position to him on stage 10, but regained it after stage 12. There was no doubting Cave's charge. He took every risk and every cut he could in what was turning into an epic battle. Sam Moffat began the day 5th overall, a good 20 seconds off Cave, who's also registered for Irish Tarmac points. The gap between them grew wider as the morning crept on.
Yeah, he's on a serious mission in there. We'd really have to put everything on the line, and I don't think I'd end up finishing if we'd try to go after him. He's on a good pace there, and I think we just need to try and keep Callum at bay and take the points from there.
Sensible talk from Sam. Devine was only a handful of seconds behind, but he was also wary of the risk involved in pushing too hard.
These guys are a really crazy pace, so yeah, first time in that car in the mud, so I think we're just going to keep chugging away at our own pace and build up the confidence.
After yesterday's disappointment with the broken prop shaft, Josh Moffat was now up to 7th. Marty McCormack also had some opening day woes, but was now back into the top 10 in 8th. Listen out as co-driver Barney keeps things calm inside the car when Marty has a bit of a moment.
And flat 2 right 140. Now. Alright, take your time now. You're alright. Barney. Alright, you're alright. Get her to the end of the stage now, don't be a what a oh, you were going well to that point, but George. Flat 2 right now, but listen, don't be letting yourself down, 140.
Robert Barrable was up in podium position yesterday morning, but has slipped down the order. A lack of seat time being a big factor, as he explains.
It's a new car to us. It's a relatively new car to the championship, so it's just about being comfortable, and just at the minute we're just not 100% comfortable, so it's hard to push when you're not comfortable.
Johnny Greer and Kirsty Riddick had started off cautiously in the tricky conditions of Saturday morning, but were steadily working their way up the leaderboard, now into 10th position. Just outside the top 10 in 11th was Stephen Wright and Di Roberts. On his first time here at the West Cork Rally, Cahan McCourt and Barry McNulty were keeping their noses clean, back in 12th overall. Local driver David Guest was in action with his Skoda Fabius Super 2000 and sitting 13th after as many stages. Leading the right-hand drive category at the midpoint on Sunday was Alan Carmichael in his Hyundai i20 R5.
40, 1 left, and down 4 left, 100, and 1 right plus, 200, and 1 right over sand slippery, 80, 4 left half long tight, so 4 left half long tight, 40.
Brendan Comiskey had his moments along the way and was 37 seconds behind Carmichael. With such an impressive entry for the West Cork Rally, let's take a look at some of the other drivers further down the field. Into the final service ahead of the last 3 stages. Brina Nagel had 27 seconds in hand over Fisher, and there was only one plan for the afternoon.
Just 3 more to go now. What's the objective? Just to get through?
Just to get back and trying to bring the rally home would be really nice. We've had an awesome weekend and yeah, nice to finish off with a win.
Craig's far ahead now, to be honest, unless something happens, but we're very pleased with our performance, and if we can stick it out and get second, we'll be happy.
Into the final test, and in the modified category, the fight was on. Kiernan led, but Hevenin had taken time out of him in the morning. All of a sudden, Mikko's competitive spirit started to surge. But just as we all looked forward to the battle, news that Kiernan had retired filtered through. Mechanical issues. Gut-wrenching after a brilliant performance. Damien Toner came through to seal second and maximum points for the championship. And on their first time competing at the West Cork Rally, Mikko Hevenin and Jarno Ottman came through to claim victory.
I didn't really know what to expect when we came here, if we are going to be in any pace. I'm happy that we had some pace anyway. We were able to push a little bit, but Gary was really, really quick, and shame that we had a problem. So it just means that we have to come back and make a rematch. But it was maybe the most fun I ever had in a rally car, so it was a perfect weekend.
Into the event, top 5 now, and taking 5th overall after staying ahead of Devine was Sam Moffat. He picked up championship points for 4th as Edwards isn't registered. A titanic battle ensued throughout the day between Edwards and Cave, but Matt had to settle for 4th overall and 2nd in the BRC category. Whilst Tom Cave showed full commitment to overthrow Edwards and take points for 3rd and the overall win in BRC. Fisher and Noble showed once again their true class. Another stellar performance, sealing them 2nd overall. Brina Nagel steered a superb event and take maximum points here at the West Cork Rally. 2 in a row from the inimitable duo.
Keep to yourself, mate. Well done, boy. Well done, buddy, boy. Super weekend.
And from then on, leaders of this Clonakilty Park Hotel West Cork Rally, and his co-driver Paul Nagel.
Probably some of the finest stages I've driven before. So we had a ball to get a win. Yeah, two wins now, good points on the board. So it's all is good.
Here is confirmation then of the overall results at the Clonakilty Park Hotel West Cork Rally. And this is how the championship stands moving into round 3. Breen with a 6-point advantage over Fisher.
Well, the second round of the Irish Tarmac Rally Championship is done here at West Cork. It's Craig Breen and Paul Nagel who take their 2nd win in a row. What an event it's been, and what a success for Craig and Paul again. Catch us next at the Easter stages.